one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, can you see that? Okay, so this as a whole is your IELTS. Well, let's say Dharma, Navin, Bibutsa, and then we have Yuvraj. All right, take a look at this. So when you're thinking about the IELTS, all right, IELTS is just a language test. It tests your proficiency in the English language. English कतिको राम्रो छ भन्ने मात्र हो. जस्तै तिमीहरू if you want to study in New Zealand, Australia, Canada, UK, US, you could either take IELTS, you could take TOEFL, you know. You might have heard about PTE, you might have also heard about CAE. So these are some of the tests you can take. And your test, let's say, it simply verifies your English level. Right, because after all, if you plan to study in these foreign countries, these are where you use native English. So it's an English-speaking country. The instructions will be in English, and hence you're expected to know your English. And it's a language test, basically. Right? So language test means you can take IELTS, TOEFL, as I said, PTE, CAE. Okay? Now you all are planning to take the IELTS. So IELTS we have listening, reading, writing, speaking. There are 4 sections, as you can clearly see. Each section of IELTS is 1 to 9, band score. Okay? LI evaluate this 1 to 9, you're going to 1 to 9, 1 to 9, 1 to 9. All right. And as a whole, you are supposed to come up with a score of at least 6 out of 9. So each section must at least 6. Okay? Every section might at least 6, and aggregate score, when you combine all the 4 sections together, you have to come up with a score of at least 6. All right. Now, if you're thinking about, let's say, Australia, right? A lot of students plan to go to Australia. Now, if you're thinking about Australia, writing might at least 6 speaking might at least 6 reading might at least 6, listening might 6. Now, IELTS was okay, it's possible to come up with 6 in listening. Reading comprehension for a majority of students, right? So 6 when the comma your chances of applying to study in Australia or other countries, it's down. It goes down. So at least 6 only. So reading listening ma 6 aउने गर्छ usually. Reading ma धेरै कम scores आउने गर्छ. Okay, so you've got to be careful with reading. Writing, again, you've got to be careful. Only speaking ma 6 is possible. So what I see here, a big possibility in scoring 6 is in speaking and in listening. More effort needs to be put in reading and listening. Okay? So that's the way it is. Now, your IELTS test always starts with listening. Take a look at it. This is how the test goes. It starts with listening, followed by reading. To which you reading पछि आउँछ writing. All right. So test day मा चाहिँ, okay, you're putting in 40 minutes, 60 minutes. So 2 hours, 40 minutes. 2 hours, 40 minutes मा चाहिँ listening, reading, writing. Speaking will be some other time. Speaking त्यही दिन हुँदैन. All right, so for speaking, you might be called a couple of days before or maybe a couple of days after you've taken the test. So that's how it goes. And bichma ke questions please let me know. If you have any questions in between, kai ke problem bhayo bhane you can always ask me any question for clarification. Sundar Chani, Dharmaraj, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, questions, Savani, feel free to interrupt me. Eh? So, as I was saying, generally, students are listening ma ramre garcha, at least 6th ल्याउनै पर्यो हैन, speaking ma ramre गर्नु पर्छ, reading or writing ma चाहिँ you have to put in more effort. IELTS basically. Now, let's start with listening. The IELTS test starts with listening. Now, you see, there's a total of 40 questions. Okay, so listening ma, as you can see, you have a total of 40 questions. Just a moment. No annotations. Okay. Here, listening 40 questions. And if you might have noticed, you also have 40 questions in reading. So reading also 40 questions, right? So it's much easier to remember when you think of it that way. So you have 40 questions in listening, 40 questions in reading comprehension, okay? Now, your listening much of 40 questions are divided into 4 sections. Charter sections, right? 4 sections. So you have section 1, who's that? Okay, so you've got section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4. And your 4 sections, Mate, all right, you can see each section has 10 questions. And section 1 got 10 questions, section 2, 10 questions, section 3, section 4, 10 questions. All right. Nishant.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, good morning. All right. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I was just explaining about the IELTS. Okay, so take a look at it.
Okay,
So you've got 40 questions, there are 4 sections. Each section has got 10 questions, right? Now, what really happens in listening is the first section with 10 questions is the easiest. All right, first 10 questions easy. The next 10 questions are a little difficult. Next 10 questions are they difficult. Last 10 questions most difficult. When I say listening, the questions get progressively more difficult. All right. So when I say 10, 10, 10, 10, 40 questions, first 10, 20 questions are manageable. Third or fourth section, 20 questions, it gets more difficult. Right. So listening, I mean, technically, theoretically speaking, in listening, if you can get the first 20 questions correct, first section could 10 questions, second section could 10 questions. If you get it all correct, all right, you'll get at least 5.5. Now, 6th 5.5, say, first 20 questions. Remaining 20 questions from the third and fourth section, all right, that'll give you more point. So that's why listening is scoring. It is scoring. But it also depends on how comfortable you are with the IELTS listening, how much you understand of native speakers. So listen native speakers like you're going to watch movies, you're going to listen to talk shows, TED Talks, you could watch that. And I've noticed that those who watch a lot of TV series, English TV series, all right, they do very well. For example, the old-fashioned TV series like Friends, How I Met Your Mother, Big Bang Theory, okay? I've observed that students who actually watch TV series, they do well in listening. Listening, it's more about understanding the speaker's accent, firstly. And accent, mostly you're going to hear British English, Australian, American English. So there's going to be a variety of English. You're going to listen to only British English. Okay, so firstly, you have to be comfortable with the accent. And secondly, you should be able to understand what they're trying to say, opinions. So your TV shows are you will understand about the opinions and all that. And the third section or fourth section listening, all right, you will be listening to the speaker's opinions, the speaker's attitude, and so on. Why the first 2 sections are easy is because you're simply trying to find out some important points, like let's say date, name of a place, name of a person, things like that. So first or second section, you're only looking for specific information. Third or fourth section listening, you're listening to more about the speaker's attitude and speaker's opinion. All right. So anyway, listening is the most scoring section. As I've already told you, 10 questions, a section, so you have a total of 40 questions. The first two sections are easy. The third and fourth tends to get difficult. Any questions on listening? Kecha, Sodnabane, Bibucha? Ina? Timi naksal ma banyo hai? Bibucha, naksal? Okay. Moya Maiti Devi. Maiti Devi ba? Quite close by. Anyway, now no questions. Kecha, Dharmaraj, Yuvraj, listening ko bisama sodnu. Yuvraj, Dharmaraj, Kecha?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, all right. Listening ko lagi say, you have to practice listening to native speakers, right? Main chatyo. Of course, our class ma say sabai discuss garincha what to listen to, and I'll be sending you materials and all that. Now let's go on to reading. Listening pachi ayo, next test ma huncha reading comprehension. Reading comprehension. Like I'm school ma reading comprehension garincha. So there, you like in listening, you've got a total of 40 questions, right? 3 passages. So the number of questions, 40 questions, the way it's been divided in 3 passages is, first passage 13 question, second passage 13, third passage 14. So 13, 13, 14. You'll have the number of questions. Okay, once again, first passage 13, second passage 13, last passage 14. Okay, 13, 13, 14. Because you have a total of 40 questions. Now, like listening, reading comprehension is also graded. I'll just say listening much easy, difficult. Reading the first passage is easy. Second passage is moderate. Third passage is difficult. Any total time for reading, 60 minutes. When I say actual time for reading is 20 minutes each. 20 minutes. All right, so 20, 20, 20. That's the time you're getting. All right. So, 20, 20, 20. All right, so per passage, actually, the time that you're getting is 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, you read and answer 13 questions. First 13, second ko, next 20 minutes for 13 question, last one ko, 20 minutes more of 14 questions. But of course, examination, they'll give you, one time. The examiners wouldn't break it up into 20 minutes each. Okay, they'll just give you one full time of 60 minutes. It's for you to manage your time. But I'll take reading. Easy passage, right? 13 questions, 20 minutes. Most of the students will be able to do it. You'll be very happy. You'll be very happy, first passage. Second, moderate passage, you'll not be sure about 2 to 4 questions. Right? You're not sure about 2 or 4 questions. Moderate or passage, you're still happy. Third, difficult passage, you don't know what the hell is happening. Now you're very unhappy. You're very, very unhappy. And you still have 14 questions left. So that's a problem with reading comprehension. So reading comprehension, the difficult passage is already difficult. Okay, the difficult passage is already difficult. This one is already difficult. And there are 14 questions. Okay, so difficult to write here. Okay, there are 14 questions. A moderate passage examination ko nerves you'll still find it difficult. Because you still have 13 questions. 13 questions. भनेपछि हाम्रो अलिक राम्रो गर्ने भनेको इजी प्यासेजमा मात्रै त गर्यो 13 questions. Anyway, let's consider this as 13 questions. All right, your easy passage. Okay, 13. When I see the only thing we have been sure about is here, just this 13 questions. All right, when I see we're still not sure about moderate and difficult questions. So you still left it 4, 5, 6, 7, 27 questions. So that's what makes IELTS reading comprehension difficult. So when you're preparing for the IELTS, you're not preparing for the easy passage. You're always preparing for the difficult passage. Now, IELTS will test how often do you read in the English language? How often? Okay, in case of Bibutsa, you're taking A-levels, so you do a lot of reading, which is all fine, right? But I'm not sure about Yuvraj. Well, I'm not sure about you, Dharmaraj, how often you read, right? Well, I'm also not sure about you, Nishant and Navin, how often you read when you could answer. So IELTS, let's say, simply reading comprehension much a test how often you read in the English language test. Okay? So the more you read, the better it is. So you should start reading more. Jati there passages are reported. Anyway, to reading. Our next time is writing. Writing, as you can see, there are two tasks. Okay, that's report writing, 20 minutes, or Kaya essay writing, 40 minutes. And you get a total of 60 minutes. Of 60 minutes, you'll have to complete both report writing and essay writing. Okay? But task 1, report writing, you get graphs, tables, pie charts. Okay, so based on graphs, tables, pie charts, you write a report. Report writing ko actual score is 3. Essay writing the actual score is twice as more, 6. So 3 plus 6, 9. That's how the writing is reported. Equal score report writing and essay writing. Report writing is 3, essay writing is 6. So essay writing carries more scores, twice as more scores. Right, so essay writing carries more scores. So report writing, you're given 20 minutes. As you can see, 20 minutes when there is so much. So it's a short time. So 20 minutes, you are supposed to write a report. Your 20 minutes by looking at graphs, tables, pie charts, and then you write a report. All right. It's our strategies how to write a report when you could answer. There's certain ways to write it. Okay. But here students are key wrong answer. In report writing, they write a lot of detail. Just a graph series, suppose. A graph, a table. The graph or table goes a body report. But the question says clearly, summarize and make comparisons. The question says summarize. So the more information you write, actually, the less scores you get. Because the question simply says that you have to take the major point, summarize when you go, this main points later, not to write in detail. But students do just the opposite. The more you write in detail, the less scores you get. And anyway, you just have to write for 20 minutes. You buy report writing. Right? Or essay writing. The essay writing is something is everybody's written. Sable lekheko essay bani kuro. But essay bani, it's probably you've never found it very interesting during the school days. Tell me, has anybody found essay writing very interesting? Kasala interesting lage cha? Yuvraj, school ma, Vibhutsa, Dharmaraj, kasala essay writing interesting lage? Navin, Nishant?
Not that much.
Not that much, no? Essay writing is not all very interesting. अब यहाँ चाहिँ okay यहाँ scoring मैले लेख्दै हालौं this is the band score of 3. Oh man, that's supposed to be 3, right? You boy 6. So essay carries more scores. And did you notice essay got timing 40 minutes. When it's essay you're supposed to put in more time. 40 minutes. Report writing 20 minutes, essay go 40 minutes. When I say essay, much body focus. Our essay is something you all have written. पहिला पनि लेखेको स्कुलमा पनि लेखेको तर एसे भन्ने कुरो त्यति इन्ट्रेस्टिङ लागिँदैन सायद स्कुलमा धेरै मिस्टेक्सहरू भएको छ एसेमा यु नो वाइ इफ यु आस्क मी स्कुल डेजमा चाहिँ what went wrong with my essays not because you couldn't write it's just that you were very lazy with the organization so it's not the writing it's how you organize the writing that's very important so essay writing ma organization plays a very important role and the organization like we use a very specific term we call it coherence 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 भनेको linking ideas okay different ideas like different paragraph ma cohesion अर्को word भने cohesion 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 भनेको त्यो different paragraphs को जुन चाहिँ idea छ त्यसलाई link गर्ने linking words र यो कुरा चाहिँ एकदमै इम्पोर्टेन्ट हुन्छ र लेख्नु त जसले पनि लेखिहाल्छ हैन तर हाम्रो मेन कन्फ्युजन भयो कि त्यसलाई कसरी अर्गनाइज गर्ने त्यसलाई कसरी लिंक गर्ने हाम्रो कस्तो वर्ड्सहरु लेख्ने भन्ने कुरोहरु आउँछ र त्यही नै हुन्छ एसे राइटिङ र यो कुरोमा अलिकति ध्यान दिए भने देयर इज नो रिजन व्हाई यु क्यान नट स्कोर 6 इन एसे राइटिङ व्हाई नट एसे राइटिङ मात्र नभने एज अ होल रिपोर्ट राइटिङ एन्ड एसे राइटिङ देयर इज नो रिजन व्हाई यु क्यान नट स्कोर बट इट्स गट टु बी भेरी स्पेसिफिक र आर्टिस्टमा अब राइटिङमा धेरै कम स्कोर्स आउने गर्छ बिकज स्टुडेन्ट्स डोन्ट फोकस अन दिस थिङ्स खालि लेखेर मात्र भएन फ्रम इफ यु वर टु राइट 100 एसेस फ्रम टुडे 100 एसेसमा अलिअलि इम्प्रुभमेन्ट हुन्छ धेरै इम्प्रुभमेन्ट हुँदैन यु विल बी मोर युज टु राइटिङ तर अर्गनाइजेसन त्यसको सेन्टेन्स स्ट्रक्चर vocabulary okay you have to use a variety of syntactical variations when a sentence structure variety यो सबहरु त्यति improvement हुँदैन so IELTS को लागि चाहिँ if you want to improve your writing we have to be very specific sudden कुरोमा हामीले ध्यान दिनुपर्ने हुन्छ the same thing with reading comprehension मा पढ्नु त सबले पढि नै हाल्छ इंग्लिश जसले पनि पढ्छ but why is it that people find the reading difficult in IELTS because you have to read and complete it in 20 minutes अब 20 minutes मा कसरी पढ्छ there's so many strategies okay how do you read in 20 minutes how do you complete it there are lots of strategies yeah but strategies listening is okay listening is manageable so reading ma there are lots of strategies writing takes a lot of patience okay you write you send me your written responses I'll give you feedback you write more you need more feedback writing so it's writing it needs a lot of patience on your part on my part as well right anyway now finally I am speaking now speaking is some other time right speaking is not on the same day in the test day as I've told you Rushin on the test day you're taking listening reading writing speaking say you might be called earlier you might be called later speaking is 11 to 14 minutes speaking go now speaking it all depends on how often you speak in English okay if you speak very often in English you're pretty confident and if you're confident you do well if you don't speak in English you lack confidence and if you lack confidence well your speaking doesn't go that well and हाम्रो केटाकेटीहरुको चाहिँ problem के हुन्छ speaking you read in English you write in English but ask yourself how often do you speak in English not much all right so speaking the secret to doing well in speaking एउटा simple quote you got to start speaking in English you know a lot of students ask me sir how do I improve my English मैले कसरी चाहिँ मेरो spoken English लाई improve गर्नु there's only one way you cannot improve English by listening you cannot improve English by watching or reading you have to start speaking you have to utter those words you have to vocalize those words right so that's the best way to work on speaking now the next question is तिमीहरुसँग साथी छ छैन हैन do you have friends with whom you can communicate in English maybe some of you have maybe most of you do not have those so how do you start your English and how do you know after English level you know mobile ma you have a voice recorder all mobile ma we have voice recorders Okay, take one simple question. Yeah, newspaper ko kunai euta sano euta tukra liera, go through the newspaper, pretend you are a newsreader and just read that piece of news and record it. Okay, and then play it. You'll be very surprised at how you sound. See, half the time we don't know how we sound. So autism, it's very important how you sound to your examiner. So in order to know how you sound to your examiner, you're going to use a voice recorder, right? And voice recorder, you can be your own judge. You can be your own judge. You know, you would immediately know, oh, maybe I'm going too fast. Someone will say, oh, maybe I'm going too slow. Or maybe some of the words I'm not pronouncing clearly. There's a lack of clarity. Okay, so you know a lot of things about this. So at least try with a voice recorder and start speaking. You know a lot about it. Speaking company, there are lots of skills. All right. Now, in the classroom, what we do is I take 1 week for listening. Okay, listening is 1 week. 2 weeks for reading comprehension. It's a 6 weeks course. When you're reading 2 weeks. Now, if you're wondering, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Oh, by the way, classes when you say I'm Monday to Friday, eh? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. When I say 5 days, go to class. Okay, Friday, Saturday, of course, the institute remains closed. Sunday is reserved for tests. And you all will have to take tests. Okay. एउटा section complete भयो, त्यो section complete हुने बित्तिकै त्यो section को चाहिँ Sunday test दिनुपर्ने हुन्छ. Jastै starting from tomorrow, Monday, I'm starting with writing task 1. This one. Only Monday then Friday I'll be dealing with report writing task 1. And in writing task 1 ko ठ्याक्क complete हुन्छ त्यो week को अनि Sunday चाहिँ त्यो writing task 1 को test बस्नु पर्ने हुन्छ. Right? Of course, it's going to be online test process, and then you will send your answers, and then to me, and then I'll give you the scores. I'll give you feedback. So for every section, it's like that. So listening for 1 week, Monday to Friday, reading comprehension for 2 weeks, because in 2 weeks we are not simply discussing how to read. We'll also have to discuss how to read for the IELTS when you have a very little time. Okay, shortest possible time. How do you read? So we discuss a lot of techniques such as passage mapping. Vibhucha, are you aware about passage mapping? Passage mapping ki phase? Vibhucha?
No, sir.
No? Okay. Anyway, a lot of people are not aware of it. Okay, so how do we read when kura? So we read by using a lot of techniques, and I prefer using passage mapping. अनि आयो राइटिङ. अब राइटिङमा चाहिँ धेरै हुन्छ हैन. राइटिङमा अब मैले सानो सानो कुरोहरू एक्सप्लेन गर्नु पर्यो. हाउ टु राइट रिपोर्ट राइटिङ, जस्तै रिपोर्ट राइटिङमा चाहिँ अब यो भोलिको कुरोमा रिपोर्ट राइटिङमा हाउ टु राइट द हेडिङ, हाउ टु राइट द इन्ट्रोडक्सन भनौँ न हैन, हाउ टु राइट द बडी प्याराग्राफ, हाउ टु राइट द कन्क्लुजन. अब कन्क्लुजन लेखेन भने हाउ टु राइट द ओभरभ्यू भनेर we'll have to discuss everything in detail. So it's going to take 1 week for report writing, all right? And 1 week for essay writing. But it's 2 weeks for writing, 2 weeks for reading, 1 week for listening, 1 week for speaking. Listening, speaking 1 week each is good enough. So that's a total of 6 weeks. Okay, and that's how our classes will be planned. Classes at the moment is from 10 to 11. अब बीचमा चाहिँ म आफै पनि बिरामी भएको थिएँ. I've been taking this class regularly, and then I was ill. Actually, I got COVID-19. So just, trying to get back to the groove, okay? Trying to get back to the loop, recuperating. How much can we rest? So yeah, that's the way it is. So I'm continuing my classes from tomorrow again, and I'll be starting with report writing. Any questions? Okay, sir, question 0. Hello.
No, sir.
No questions? Okay. एकैछिन है. No, don't. Where are you? So this is basically my rotational module. Okay, the plan that we follow here. This is the general plan. So as I told you, it's a 6 weeks course, 2 weeks for reading, 2 weeks for writing, okay, 1 week for listening, 1 week for speaking. And I'm just giving to Monday to Friday, एक section गर्छ. So once you complete, let's say, writing task 1, you take the test on Sunday for writing task 1 only. अरूको टेस्ट लिएर त काम छैन किन अरू त गरेको हुँदैन. त्यसपछि writing task 2 गर्यो त्यसको टेस्ट दियो. त्यसपछि listening को गर्यो टेस्ट दियो, speaking गर्यो speaking को टेस्ट अनि reading को पछि गरेर reading को टेस्ट दिने. And you सबै complete भएर चाहिँ you will have to take the full length test. Reading, writing, listening, including speaking, सबै combine गरेर चाहिँ full length test पछि दिनु पर्छ. Hey, well, that's the way it goes. Now, okay, that's better. Can everybody see this? Yeah, Matiko?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think you should copy this. Your IELTS official website, IELTS.org. Please copy this. Your British Council, IDP, Cambridge English. I want you to copy all of this, the websites here. Go on, take it down. Yuvraj? तिमी ठक्क लाइटको उल्टा बसेछौ कि केही देख्दिन. अन्धकारमा एलियन घुमिरहेको जस्तो मात्रै देख्दैछु म. ल ठिकै छ, आजलाई केही छैन है. त्यो अलिकति त्यो हैन, त्यो लाइट केही देखिँदैन. त्यो झ्यालबाट चाहिँ आइरहेछ, बरु तिम्रो चाहिँ केही पनि देखिँदैन, खालि स्याडो मात्रै देखिरहेछ. पछि त्यो मिलाउने है, त्यो बस्दाखेरि उता झ्यालपट्टि बस्यो भने सजिलो हुन्छ होला. झ्यालको नेचुरल लाइट आउँछ है. Sorry? मैले बुझेन युवराज. I didn't get you. खासै फरक त केही पनि होइन. यस्तो हो, if you want to study abroad, हैन, जस्तै कुनै एउटा अब English speaking country जस्तै अस्ट्रेलियामा, युके, न्युजिल्यान्ड, क्यानाडा, US मा चाहिँ पढ्नु पर्यो भने त्यहाँ त नेटिभ मिडियम अफ टिचिङ भनेको इङ्ग्लिस हो. प्रायः सबले इङ्ग्लिस बोल्ने हो हैन. र तिम्रो इङ्ग्लिसको लेभल चाहिँ कतिको छ भनेर टेस्ट गर्ने मात्र. अन्त अब युनिभर्सिटीलाई चाहिँ थाहा हुनु पर्यो नि त तिम्रो इङ्ग्लिस लेभल कतिको छ, बुझ्नु पर्यो तिमीले लेसन्सहरू. त्यसकारण यो सब टेस्ट दिने. अनि यो टेस्ट दिँदा you'll have to take IELTS, TOEFL हैन. अर्को एउटा PT you might have heard. अर्को एउटा CAE भन्ने हुन्छ. CAE चाहिँ त्यति पपुलर छैन नेपालमा. Though I'm a certified CAE instructor. I never got one student also because it's not popular. लामो, एकदम लामो ड्युरेसनको कोर्स हो. CAE भन्ने चाहिँ at least 12 weeksको कोर्स हो है. र डिपेन्डिङ अन द युनिभर्सिटी, जस्तै अस्ट्रेलियामा युवराजले अब TOEFL भने जस्तै हैन, अस्ट्रेलियामा IELTS पनि एक्सेप्ट गर्छ. धेरै युनिभर्सिटीले हिजो आज TOEFL पनि एक्सेप्ट गर्छ. US मा a lot of universities accept TOEFL. A lot of universities have also started accepting IELTS. तर खासै के लस हुँदैन. यो हैन कि टोफलले चाहिँ धेरै एक्सेप्ट गर्छ भन्ने चाहिँ आई डोन्ट थिंक द्याट्स भेरी ट्रू यूएस को लागि चाहिँ अफ कोर्स हैन यूएस को लागि देयर आर लट्स अफ युनिभर्सिटीज एक्सेप्टिङ मोर अफ टोफल तर त्यो सँगसँगै आइएलटीएस पनि उनीहरूले एक्सेप्ट गरिरहेको हुन्छ अब क्यानाडा हो भने त फेरि आइएलटीएस मात्र भयो धेरै जस्तो हैन सो भेरी गर्छ कन्ट्री वाइज भेरी गर्छ ओके र आइएलटीएस को तिमीहरुको लागि केही क्वेशन्सहरु छ भने हैन आइएलटीएस मा केही कन्फ्युजन छ भने किनभने कहिलेकाहीँ यस्तो हुन्छ भने काउन्सिलर्सहरुले पनि रङ इन्फर्मेसन दिइराको हुन्छ साथीहरुकोबाट धेरै रङ इन्फर्मेसन आउँछ हैन सो फर ऑल आइएलटीएस नीड्स यु विल गो अन टु ielts.org your official website of IELTS. Okay, always go into this. Then you can always go on to British Council website, britishcouncil.org.np. Okay, yeah, you get a lot of IELTS materials. And in Nepal, you can either take the exam from the British Council or IDP, idp.com. So you could also take the exam from IDP. The IELTS one is a key one. To give you an idea about the IELTS, it's a brand name. Hey? IELTS is owned by basically 3 organizations. British Council, IDP. IDP one is Australia ko university ko non-profit organization. Right? Australian University was an organization. So IELTS is owned by British Council, IDP. British Council, IDP, there are lots of centers. Nepal ma pani kholia cha. India ma IDP ko धेरै centers छ. British Council ko सँगसँगै. अनि they IDP र British Council they conduct tests. IELTS test. So basically they are the vendors. They simply conduct the test. Right? IELTS test. The IELTS could test questions prepared by Cambridge University. Cambridge University, UCLE is University of Cambridge Local Examination Syndicate. The UCLE is Cambridge University, a subsidiary of the company. It looks after A-levels, O-levels, or the Tupra or the test, including CAE and IELTS. So Cambridge University prepares the questions, okay? British Council and IDP, they deliver the test. So the IELTS is owned by these 3 organizations. The kind of confusion boy when IELTS ko bare jannu man lagyo bhane you start with ielts.org. Right? So start from here. So you can do it right away from today itself. Okay, get more information about IELTS starting from here. Start watching, as I told you earlier, for listening. It's going to be very helpful if you could watch, the old TV series, How I Met Your Mother, Friends. Our friends, whenever they've had a reunion very recently, that popular, right? The Purana program. You can watch TED Talks. You can watch stand-up comedians. A lot of them are there. I like Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah is a good comedian. There is. So that's how you improve your listening. Now, about the English, much interest. Right? So you have to listen to English, you have to read in English, write in English, speak in English, think in English. Let's see if you have any questions. Yuvraj, are there any questions or resolve? Aru kasab ke sabne? Nishant? Naveen?
Yes.
Naveen Bhatt?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
No.
Buje? Dharmaraj?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Nishant? Do you have any questions, Nishant? Nishant? Yeah, Yuvraj. Advice को लागि चाहिँ अब डिटेलमा चाहिँ यो सबको लागि चाहिँ I think you should consult हाम्रो प्रियासँग है कन्सल्ट गरे राम्रो हुन्थ्यो तर अब एडभाइस को चाहिँ म on a personal level यति भन्नु चाहन्छु कि long time back म 2002 मा NIC मा काम गर्दाखेरि म र एडभाइस को जो प्रोप्राइटर हुनुहुन्छ मिस्टर बीएम खड्का हामी सँगै गरेको I was an instructor. Mr. B.M. Khadka, he was the counselor. And Mr. B.M. Khadka is one of the best counselors. Okay. Advice ma chai AIRC bhanne suneko cha chaina I don't know Yuvraj hai it's an accreditation euta huncha त्यो चाहिँ advice को एउटा छ very few hardly one or two the consultants in Nepal they have got the AIRC but it's a certification to send students to the US. Okay, त्यो चाहिँ एउटा certification छ. And Mr. B.M. Khadka personally I know that he's a very ethical man. He's a no-nonsense person. Okay, he gets straight to the point and he is the best counselor. And besides that, हाम्रो थुप्रो हुनुहुन्छ अरु काउन्सिलर्सहरु हुनुहुन्छ युएस को लागि मिस्टर बीएम खड्का बाहेक अरु सरहरुले पनि हेर्नुहुन्छ and they all उनीहरु सबै युएस मा पढेको बाइ द वे ओके जो युएस को काउन्सिलर हुनुहुन्छ उहाँ युएस मा पढेको हाम्रो यता forgot the name हाम्रो युके को जो काउन्सिलर हुनुहुन्छ उहाँ पनि युके मै पढ्नु भयो र हाम्रो अस्ट्रेलिया को जो काउन्सिलर हुनुहुन्छ उहाँ पनि अस्ट्रेलियामा पढ्नु भयो र यो हैन कि अब विदेशको हावाई नखाई हैन त्यो खाली के भन्ने त्यो वेबसाइट को भरमा मात्रै हुन्छ नि गफ दिने त्यस्तो हैन उनीहरु सबै दे have studied abroad they studied there they worked there अनि they've got very good experience about life there र उहाँहरुले चाहिँ सायद they can provide you better information है युवराज Vibhuti sir.
Yes, sir.
Vibhuti sir, do you have any questions?
No, sir, no questions.
No questions. Okay, fine then. So Nishant ko no questions. Naveen? You have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, then I think.
One thing.
Yeah. Yeah. के थियो
एक वर्ष पहिला मैले आइएल्ट्स गरेको
पहिले एक वर्ष अगाडि ओके
when I was at 11
ओके
सो अहिले चाहिँ एक वर्ष बितिसक्यो त्यही भएर रिभिजनको लागि आएको
अलि बुझिन मैले नभए एक वर्ष अगाडि आइएल्टिएस गरेको थियो अनि अहिले
चाहिँ म त्यही एक वर्ष धेरै भयो नि त बितिसक्यो त्यही भएर म यहाँ रिभिजनको लागि
हैन ओके एक वर्ष अगाडि तेरो आइएल्टिएस गर्दाखेरि टेस्टमा बसेको थियो आइएल्टिएस टेस्टमा बसेको
only in test center not in there for exam
हैन माने टेस्टै बसेको हो पैसा तिरेर फी तिरेर टेस्ट बसेको हो
हैन त्यति बेला त्यसै टाइम थियो त्यही भएर 11 मा छँदै गर्दिएको
Hello, Vijay sir?
हेलो नवीन धर्मराज निशान्त र युवराज
Yes.
सुनिरहेछौ सबैजना
Yes.
ए ओके सरको केही इन्टरनेट प्रब्लम भयो जस्तो सर अफ हुनुभयो है अब क्लास चाहिँ एन्डै हुन लागिसकेको थियो होला है
Yeah.
ओके अनि सुन न तिमीहरूको भिडियो चाहिँ अब भोलि क्लासदेखि चाहिँ म्यान्डेटरी अन हुनुपर्छ है मैले यहाँबाट चाहिँ अन गर भनेर भनिरहनु नपरोस् तैपनि अन भएको रहेनछ भने म तिमीहरूलाई यहाँबाट अन गर भनेर नोटिफिकेसन चाहिँ पठाइरहन्छु है किनभने सर मात्रै भिडियो अन गरेर सरले मात्रै पढाइरहनु भयो तिमीहरूको केही फेसै देखेन भने तिमीहरू सुतिरहेछौ कि के गरिरहेछौ हामीलाई कसरी थाहा हुने होइन त्यही भएर भिडियो चाहिँ अन गर्नु पर्यो है अनि अरू केही क्वेसन छ त तिमीहरूको
No.
अनि सरले क्वेसन सोधिरहनु हुने बेलामा इन्टरेक्ट चाहिँ गर्ने नि त केही क्वेसनै छैन आज फर्स्ट डे हो अनि के पनि क्वेसन छैन तिमीहरूको
केही छैन त्यस्तो सबै
दाउद
थाहा छ।
हेलो हजुर हजुर ओके यस्तो हो हाम्रो चाहिँ 2005बाट स्टार्ट भएको हो है हाम्रो अफिस एडभाइस फाउन्डेसन सिन्स 2005बाट स्टार्ट भएको हो हाम्रो मेन भनेको चाहिँ फर्स्टदेखि नै हामीले गरिरहेर आएको चाहिँ युएसए हो है हाम्रो फर्स्टदेखि नै हामीले चाहिँ प्रोसेसिङ जुन हामी सर्भिसहरू दिन्छौँ त्यो युएसए को लागि थियो तर बट हामीले लास्ट सिन्स 3 or 4 इयर्स भइसक्यो अस्ट्रेलिया पनि स्टार्ट गर्यौँ र क्यानाडा र युके पनि स्टार्ट गरेको छौँ है अनि त्यसपछि युवराज तिमी कुन कन्ट्रीको लागि हो युएस को लागि हो ए ओके तिमी +2 अलरेडी कम्प्लिट करेन्टली 12 मा चाहिँ है तिमी ओके यस्तो छ अब तिमीहरू कोही युएसए होला कोही अस्ट्रेलिया होला कोही युके होला होइन अब त्यो हेरी हुन्छ कुन कन्ट्री हो भनेर अब तिमीहरूको केही कन्ट्री रिलेटेड केही क्वेसनहरू छ भन्यो भने चाहिँ मलाई एकचोटि म्यासेज गर या त फोन कल गर होइन त्यसपछि म तिमीहरूलाई चाहिँ हाम्रो काउन्सिलर सरहरूसँग पनि कनेक्ट गरिदिन सक्छु है अनि एडभाइसको बारेमा भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब त्यही नै हो 2005बाट स्टार्ट भएको हो युएसए अस्ट्रेलिया युके र क्यानाडा चाहिँ हामीले प्रोसेसिङमा हेल्प गर्छौँ र त्यसको त्योभन्दा बाहेक हामीले एकाडेमिकमा हाम्रो हुने भनेको चाहिँ आइएल्स टफल र एसएटी अहिलेको लागि है आइएल्स हुन्छ टफल हुन्छ र एसएटी हुन्छ धर्मराज तिमी कुन कन्ट्रीको लागि हो
युएसए
युएसए नै हो नवीन नवीन
क्यानाडा
क्यानाडाको लागि ओके दाउद त अस्ट्रेलियाको लागि हो है ओके हुन्छ अब यसो गर न अब अहिले क्लासेसहरू दिँदै गर अरू केही फर्दर क्वेसनहरू छ भन्यो भने मलाई एकचोटि भन त्यसपछि केही काउन्सिलर सरहरूसँग कुरा गर्नुपर्ने हो भने म कुरा गराइदिन्छु आफूले फर्स्टमा सबै क्लियर भइसकेपछि मात्रै क्लास कन्टिन्यू गर्दा पनि भयो है अब अहिले के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि तिमीहरूले आज ओरिएन्टेसन क्लास बस्यो अब भोलि ट्रायल क्लास बस्छौ पर्सि पनि ट्रायल क्लास बस्छौ त्यसपछि तिमीहरूले फीहरू पे गर्छौ आइएल्सको लागि अब बिचमा गएर आइएल्स नगर्ने भनेर त्यतिकै त्यो चाहिँ नहोस् क्या है फर्स्टमा चाहिँ आफूले के गर्ने त भेरिफाई गर्ने तिमीहरूको के क्वेसनहरू छ कि छैन फर्स्टमा सरहरूसँग चाहिँ के गर्ने त स्योर भइसकेपछि मात्रै अनि क्लासहरू उता कन्टिन्यू गर्दा भयो है त्यस्तो केही क्वेसनहरू छ त छ कि छैन केही क्वेसन ओके केही क्वेसनहरू छ भने मलाई भन्ने है अनि त्यसपछि हाम्रो क्लासेसहरू सरले अघि भनिहाल्नु भयो 10 to 11 बाट स्टार्ट हुन्छ है 2 दिन ट्रायल क्लास बस्न मिल्छ मजाले 2 दिन ट्रायल क्लास बसिएर आजको ओरिएन्टेसन कस्तो लाग्यो तिमीहरूलाई राम्रो लाग्यो ओके केही प्रब्लमहरू भयो केही भयो भने चाहिँ डाइरेक्ट सरलाई विजय सरलाई भन्ने गर है सरलाई चाहिँ भन्ने अर सरलाई भन्न अप्ठ्यारो लाग्यो या त केही अरू क्वेसन रिलेटेडहरू केही छ भन्यो भने चाहिँ मलाई पनि कन्ट्याक्ट गर्दा भयो है मेरो नम्बर त छ नि तिमीहरूसँग होइन मैले बिहान जुन कल गरेको थिएँ नि त्यही नम्बरै हो मेरो त्यो अफिसको अफिसियल नम्बर हो मेरो मलाई त्यसमै कन्ट्याक्ट गर्दा भयो एकाडेमिक मैले हेरिरहेको हुन्छु है त्यही भएर त्यसमा कल गर अब भोलिबाट चाहिँ हाम्रो अरू पहिलाको स्टुडेन्टहरू पनि हुनुहुन्छ है 3-4 जना उहाँहरू पनि एड हुन्छ अब आज तिमीहरू 5 जना भयो र 3 जना अरू 4 जना एड हुन्छ हामीले 10 जना भन्दा बढी स्टुडेन्ट राख्दैनौँ एउटा क्लासमा है 10 जना भन्दा बढी स्टुडेन्ट नराख्ने हो किनभने धेरै जना भयो भने गाह्रो पनि हुन्छ बुझ्नको लागि 10 जना भन्दा स्टुडेन्ट बढी राख्दैनौँ त्यही भएर भोलि क्लास आऊ अनि तिमीहरूको के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि पहिलाको अब यो 3-4 जना जति पनि पुरानो स्टुडेन्टहरु छ उनीहरु त पहिल्यैदेखि पढिरहेको हो नि त क्लासेसहरु हैन अब तिमीहरुको भोलि राइटिङको पार्ट 1 बाट स्टार्ट हुन्छ टास्क 1 बाट स्टार्ट हुन्छ पढाइ के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि पुरानो कुनै पनि कोर्सहरु छुट्छ भनेर चाहिँ नसोच है कुनै पनि कोर्सेसहरु के पनि छुट्ने हुँदैन तिमीहरुको भोलि जहाँबाट स्टार्ट भयो लास्टमा राउन्ड अप भएर यही आएर मात्रै तिमीहरुको कोर्स एन्ड हुन्छ है बुझ्यौ नि भोलि राइटिङको पार्ट 1 बाट स्टार्ट भइसकेपछि राउन्ड अप भएर लास्टमा आएर फेरि राइटिङको पार्ट 1 नै सुरु हुने बेलामा बल्ल तिमीहरुको कोर्सेस चाहिँ एन्ड हुन्छ है त्यसपछि चाहिँ तिमीहरुले के गर्नुपर्छ भन्दाखेरि एउटा चाहिँ के बुझिराख भन्दाखेरि तिमीहरुलाई थाहा छ कि छैन है बट हाम्रो यो टेस्ट प्रिपरेसन मात्रै गर्ने हो हामीसँग बुझ्यौ नि टेस्ट प्रिपरेसन मात्रै गर्ने हो अहिले तर पछि गएर चाहिँ तिमीहरुले चाहिँ रियल एक्जामको डेट चाहिँ छुट्टै लिएर रियल एक्जाम दिनुपर्ने हुन्छ भनेको अघि सरले भन्नुभएको थियो नि ब्रिटिश काउन्सिल अर आइडिपी भन्ने कोही तिमीहरुले सुनेको थियो अघि सरले भन्नुभएको थियो हैन हो त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ अर आइडिपी अर ब्रिटिश काउन्सिलबाट चाहिँ तिमीहरुले रियल एक्जामको डेट लिएर एक्जाम दिनुपर्ने हुन्छ है त्यसको फी भनेको चाहिँ 23,000 रुपैयाँ लाग्छ पछि तिमीहरुले रियल एक्जामको डेट लिने बेलामा चाहिँ 23,000 रुपैयाँ लाग्छ है मैले अगाडि किन भन्दिरहेको भन्दाखेरि अहिले मैले के भनिन पछि आएर एकैचोटी लाग्यो भने स्टुडेन्टहरु सबै कन्फ्युज हुन्छ क्या त्यो पनि गर्नुपर्छ र भन्ने जस्तो कुरा हुन्छ है त्यही भएर अगाडि नै इन्फर्म गरिरहेको तिमीहरुको 23,000 चाहिँ त्यो हामीले लिने हैन कि तिमीहरुले ब्रिटिश काउन्सिल अर आइडिपी जहाँबाट दिने हो उनीहरुलाई चाहिँ बुझाउने त्यो तिमीहरुको अमाउन्ट हो है आइएल्स को चाहिँ फिक्स अमाउन्टै हो त्यो चाहिँ गुगलमा सर्च गर्यो भने पनि भेट्छ अस्ति लास्ट यो सम्म चाहिँ तिमीहरुको कति थियो भन्दाखेरि 21,500 थियो पछि बढाएर अहिले चाहिँ 23,000 पुगाएको छ है अनि त्यो चाहिँ याद गरिरहने अनि अर्को भनेको अब भोलिदेखि क्लास बस त्यसपछि कस्तो हुन्छ है फर्दर अनि त्यसपछि कुरा गरौँला अनि म तिमीहरुलाई जुममा एड गर्छु अहिले है तिमीहरु सबै जनाको अकाउन्ट छ नि जुममा है जुममा अकाउन्ट छ कि छैन छ धर्मराजको छ अकाउन्ट ओके युवराजको छ म अहिले नै त्यसो भने के गर्छु भन्दाखेरि एकचोटी एड गर्छु जुममा एक्सेप्ट गर है भोलिबाट चाहिँ अनि त्यसरी क्लास बस्ने ल किन भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ सजिलो हुन्छ क्या एकैचोटी तिमीहरुलाई चाहिँ मैले हाम्रो यहाँ च्यानलमा एड गर्छु ग्रुप च्यानलमा एड गर्छु त्यो भइसकेपछि चाहिँ अनि डाइरेक्ट सबैलाई कल गर्न मिल्छ अनि त्यसपछि मेसेजहरु पनि सबैलाई एकैचोटी गर्न मिल्यो क्या सजिलो हुन्छ तिमीहरुको लागि पनि हाम्रो लागि पनि त्यही भएर म तिमीहरुलाई अहिले जुममा रिक्वेस्ट पठाउँछु र अहिले नै एक्सेप्ट गरिहाल है म त्यसपछि च्यानलमा तिमीहरुलाई एड गर्छु अनि भोलिबाट चाहिँ क्लास कन्टिन्यू गर्ने बेलामा के गर्ने त लगइन गर्ने साइन इन गरेर अनलाइन आएर बसिरहने एक्ज्याक्ट 10 मा है आज चाहिँ ढिलो भयो क्लास त्यसको लागि सरी है आज टेक्निकल इश्यूजले गर्दा अलिकति ढिलो भएको थियो भोलिबाट ठ्याक्कै एक्ज्याक्ट 10 मा स्टार्ट हुन्छ अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ अनलाइन आएर बसिरहने यहाँबाट म कल गर्छु सबैजनालाई अनि त्यसपछि एक्सेप्ट गरेर क्लास कन्टिन्यू गर्ने
ओके मिस
है त क्लियर
यस
ओके ल केही क्वेशन छ भने मलाई मेसेज गर अर कल गर जे गरे पनि हुन्छ है त आजको लागि म एन्ड गरिदिन्छु ल क्लास
ओके
है ओके ल बाइ बाइ टेक केयर सी यू
Bye-bye.
टुमोरो
Okay.